Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Film Club Podcast, where every month we deep dive into different aspects of cinema, directors, genres, actors, or franchise. It doesn't matter, because it's always fun at the Film Club. I'm Dean.
I'm Becky.
And for this series, this Summer of the Shark, we are finally closing out our Jaws franchise with
Jaws: The Revenge.
That's right, Jaws 4, directed by Joe Sargent from 1987, the final film of the Jaws franchise.
That's it. No more. Our Jawsome Summer has come to an end.
It has finally come to its big, explosive Michael Caine end.
Is Alex going to pop up in the frame somewhere?
He's going to come up and talk like Michael Caine. But yeah, this has been a long journey. I'm going to say this. These are all the first times I've seen any of the sequels to Jaws. And Jaws 4 has been hyped up as
the worst.
The worst. Not only the worst Jaws sequel, one of the worst movies ever made.
Bruce even received a Razzie. That was the first time an animatronic has been nominated for an award.
It's true. It's the second time an animal has been nominated.
Yes.
Because the first one was from Jaws 3.
3D.
Jaws 3D. But yeah, Jaws: The Revenge, universally hyped up as an awful movie. A movie that everyone has basically said they hate. They don't like it. It's dumb. It's stupid. And I have a controversial opinion.
Did you enjoy it?
I kind of did.
Okay, me too. I'm glad you said that, because I was like, I sat there and I was kind of like, this is bad, but I'm having a good time.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a thing where, okay, the bad. Let's get the bad out of the way. The effects are awful.
Oh, yeah.
The shark...
Terrible.
Shark is terrible. It literally looks like a toy. You can tell it's like a couple of like pumps and a rubber, like a rubber suit over like an animatronic. It looks god awful.
Oh yeah.
The movie's cut together kind of to shit. Like all the shark attacks, there's the really quick cutty stuff to hide the fact that the shark looks terrible.
Yeah.
There's the acting is fine. I'm actually going to say the acting is fine, but the material they have to work with is rough.
Yeah.
Like the plot itself is kind of dumb.
I mean, I was kind of digging the telepathy thing with Helen and the shark.
Okay.
I was kind of loving. I'm like, we're pulling into like Jason and all these movies where it's just we're psychically linked to one another.
That would be Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, which I can't wait for us to do the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm here for it.
We're going to have a lot to work with.
There's so much. But, okay, I know there's supposed to be like the psychic connection between Ellen and the shark, but I'm not lying. I barely picked up on it. Like, it doesn't feel like that's a thing that they meant to be in the film. It's just a thing that's like, there's only one explanation for why this is fucking happening, and it's because she's psychic.
That's why it's like, I love, she stops and he's near. Who? The shark. How do you know that? Did you see the fin? I just know.
It's so weird. Again, the plot of this movie is really, really weird. Because the general story, right, begins with the Brody boys are grown up. Michael is married. He's living in the Bahamas. He's a marine biologist.
Yeah.
Sean has now taken over. He's a police deputy, just like his dad. And his dad...
They're in Amity.
They're still in Amity. And Chief Brody, Roy Scheider's character... In context, he passed away like 2 years ago. In context of the film.
In context of the film.
In context of the film.
Roy Scheider was still alive. He was like, absolutely not. I'm not coming back.
I saw an interview with Roy Scheider talking about the Jaws movies. And they asked him, what are your... Oh. They asked him, what are your... That's Roy Scheider saying, get my name out of your fucking mouth. They asked him, so what are your thoughts on the Jaws movies? He's like, the first one? Loved it. I had a really great time doing it. What about the second one? Not so much. And apparently he just had no interest, because they wanted him to come back for this.
Yeah.
They really sold it. It's like, you'll in for one scene, you will die, you will never have to come back for these. And he's told them to go fuck themselves.
He's like, I'm not getting eaten by a rubber shark. No.
He just patently refused. Also, Richard Dreyfuss patently refused to do a over-the-phone cameo.
Yep.
Wasn't going to be on screen. They could have recorded it in his trailer, and he told them...
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So the only person they got to come back for this was
Lorraine Gary.
Lorraine Gary, who had retired at this point.
Mm-hmm. She came out of retirement, and this was her last acting gig. I mean, she's still alive. She went to a 50th anniversary screening of Jaws here in LA recently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a thing where it's like she pretty much retired from acting because she married Sid Sheinberg, the fucking president of Universal.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't really want to do the grind of being an actor anymore, because she had worked through like the 60s and 70s, and she was like, I'm kind of done. But she wanted to come back for Jaws the Revenge because Michael Caine was in it. And, you know, dreamy Michael Caine is what it is.
Yeah. How can you say no to that?
How can you say no? How can you say no to Michael Caine? How can you say no to Michael Caine in this voice?
It's like he's in the room with us.
Exactly. It so doesn't sound like Froghorn Leghorn having a stroke. But
a little far off. Foghorn is really, really southern.
Really southern. But it is just funny to me that she's the only one who comes back. She is pretty much the core central character of the film.
Dennis Quaid was like, fuck no, I'm not coming back.
Dennis Quaid said fuck no. And in the movie, right, Ellen is the only character we recognize from any of these other films. She's the only one here that's like a character.
Well, that's not true. We have Mrs. Kittner.
Oh, yes, we do.
I freaked out when I saw her and the other lady. What was her name? Mrs. Tapper?
I think it's Tapper. The women who have the same amount of screen time.
Mrs. Taft. Sorry. There was a T. There was somewhere. Yeah.
The two characters who have the exact same amount of screen time in Jaws 4 as they do in the 1975 version, and it equates to like 5 minutes total between the two films.
I still freaked out. I was like, I can't believe it. They're here.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a thing, you know, we have, but for the most part, right? Ellen's the only character that carries over. Everyone else is completely new. And the movie starts off by murdering Sean. The youngest Brody boy gets murdered by the shark, and it's...
I thought it was going to be Michael, because they say that, you know, one of the boys dies, and I thought, oh, it's probably going to be Michael. And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting Sean. But if people had told me that Jaws the Revenge starts with Christmas and Amity, I would have immediately watched it. I'm like, this is a Christmas movie? I'm watching it.
It's really funny to me. Everyone hypes this up as a fucking awful movie, and I'm not lying. The beginning of the film, where it's, you know, they're on the phone, they're talking to Michael, it's this big Christmas thing, right? And there's like carolers, and Sean has to go out into the water to get a piece of driftwood that's stuck to a buoy. And there's like, the lighting's really good. The tension's actually pretty solid, and it's like, it builds up to the kill, right?
It's like, I love seeing, you know, Amity dressed up for Christmas. It's such a vibe. It feels like being on the Universal backlot when they just like decorate everything. That was like, that's what I feel like I'm here at Universal Hollywood, just kind of going through an overlay. I'm like, this is awesome.
You know what it felt like to me? A lot like Black Christmas.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, we've got Black Christmas, we've got Silent Night, Deadly Night, Gremlins.
Well, I'm not even talking about like, you know, the aesthetic. I'm talking about like just how it's shot. It's very moody in this, and it's the thing where it's like
it's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie. The beginning of the movie is actually pretty good. Like I'm not like scoffing at this, being like, oh, they're just putting Christmas bullshit in here so they can have fancy lights. No, it's like pretty good. Honestly, the first like 30 minutes of this movie is a pretty fucking good movie.
I mean, you even get a Titanic reference. Bruce sinks the boat. The boat just completely goes down. I'm like, wow. Like, they thought of everything in this movie, and Titanic wasn't even out yet. Of course.
But that's the thing. Like, the first 30 minutes of this movie, you know, Sean dies, and it's a pretty good, you know,
gruesome death.
It's tense. There's like, it's shot really well. Like, I'm agreeing with this. This is some good, you know, this is some good cinematography. This is some good film shit. And then it's like, oh, Ellen has to identify the body. Michael comes up from the Bahamas to go to his brother's funeral, and they have this really like dramatic kind of like sad, somber sequence where it's like, oh, the granddaughter comes in and she's like, oh, is Uncle Sean's dead. Does that mean he's not going to come back? And they're like, we'll talk about it later. And everyone's trying to comfort her. And Ellen's out by the water. And it's this silent sequence where Michael goes out to comfort her through the window. And I'm like, okay, wait, when's this supposed to get fucking bad?
Yeah.
This is pretty good shit.
We've gone from horror movie to a drama. What's next?
Yeah, and it's the thing where it's like, the acting in it, I'm not going to say it's like, amazing, right? Mm-hmm. But it's good. Yeah. It's solid work. I'm not going to look at this and be like, wooden as hell, or like, it's not believable. This is some good stuff. Like, this is solid work. And then Michael Caine shows up. Okay. I love Michael Caine.
And then we go to the Bahamas.
And see, that's where the movie...
Bahamas, Hawaii.
Is it in Hawaii?
It's Bahamas in the movie, but it was filmed in Hawaii.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if they actually... Because they said they filmed on location, but I'm like, I don't think that's in the Bahamas.
No, they filmed it in Hawaii, and that was part of why Michael Caine said yes to this. Because he was like, I just saw... we open, in the Bahamas, but really, Hawaii. And he was like, I want to make a movie in Hawaii. Sold.
Yeah, I love how Michael Caine signs on to this, because Michael Caine had just won an Oscar for a Woody Allen film.
He was Best Supporting Actor. Yeah,
he just won his Oscar, clout through the roof, and he's like, well, I'm going to be building a house soon. This Universal picture is going to pay for a lot of it. And I get to have a vacation with my family down in the fucking tropics? Oh, hell yeah. The man has never seen the movie.
No.
Michael Caine has no interest in seeing the movie. Everyone says it's terrible, but the house it built is really nice.
Hell yeah.
But Michael Caine shows up, and he brings a whole different, I think it's because, the setting changes, the whole, aesthetic of the film changes from this very somber, very cold kind, horror film into this beautiful tropical paradise that's kind of this, and then the movie turns into this movie about, grief and how Ellen Brody gets her groove back by hooking up with this...
with Michael Caine.
With Michael Caine, which, hey, get it where you can.
Yeah.
But it's very funny to me how the movie just kind of stops being a horror movie for, an hour?
Well, yeah, because, we gotta have basically Ellen getting her groove back. Mm-hmm. We've got to have they're not newlyweds. They've been, together for a while. But we've got to have them having their hardships so that Bruce has the time to travel all the way from Amity to the Bahamas.
It is funny. That's the part of the movie where it gets dumb, okay? Because, again, as described, the son dies, the mother is grieving, and she's trying to re-find herself, right? Her husband has passed away. She's going to be all
essentially
alone.
Get her groove back.
Essentially get her groove back, right? It's fucking Ellen gets her groove back.
Yeah.
A shark murders her son, and she's now like, I need to re-find myself. I need to find new love or life or
she's
purpose.
Like, my son has been killed by the shark. My husband's been killed by the shark. And Michael's like, Dad died of a heart attack. And she's like,
it was the fear.
It was the fear that killed him. Bruce, just squeezed his heart.
And I'm like, Ellen, not everything goes back to that fucking shark, all right? But
then it does.
And then it does. But it's like, that's the thing. That's the movie. It's Ellen just trying to find to find comfort. It's a movie about grief and her being obsessed with this shark and all this other stuff. But then the shark shows up. It chases them from New England down to the fucking tropics. And the shark is like, bitch, we ain't done yet. I didn't hear no bell. And I'm like, why is the shark following them?
Just saying. I don't remember what episode I said it in, where I made the theory that maybe great-great-great-great-granddad Brody must have stepped on a baby shark, some point in history, and that shark's lineage was like, you know what, Brody family, we're going to curse you, and we're going to come after, any of your family members till the end of time. And in this movie, it's kind of like, oh shit, yeah, I guess we were right with that hypothesis.
That's the only explanation that makes sense at this point, because, okay, the first film, Jaws,
yes,
it's just Hooper even explains it. It's just an animal. It comes in, it eats, it kills, it makes more sharks. That's all it's doing. Basically, the first movie is, why is the shark here? Because it is. It's just an animal. Don't worry about it.
And they explain it in the book where it's just, it's a thing where he's basically asleep and, swimming at night, and he just happens to go into this channel that leads into Amity Island.
And in Jaws 2, basically the same thing. It's been like fucking 10 years since the last one. Another shark comes in. Look, when one shark comes into the waters, it's not unlikely another one's going to come in. Whatever. Granted, Jaws 3D. Sharks just kind of appear at SeaWorld. Whatever. In the lagoon. But at least all of them are like...
lightning in a bottle for that location.
Exactly. Your favorite phrase. But that's the thing. In each one of them, it's just a shark shows up.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be the Brodies are involved. But in this one, it's like the shark's like scarred up and everything. And the theory is this is the shark from like Jaws 2. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. And it's back for revenge. And it's like, I don't really understand why the film...
Is Jason Lives the one where he gets hit by lightning and he comes back?
That would be correct. That's Jason Part 6. Jason Lives. The best in the franchise.
Because here's my theory. Jaws 2, he gets electrocuted. He, falls to the bottom of the ocean, I'm assuming. So one rogue day in Amity where there's a lightning storm, his corpse gets, hit by lightning and he's revived. And it was like, fuck, I forgot I was fighting the Brodies. Okay, I'm back at it.
That would make so much more sense. At least that'd be an explanation.
I would love to see that sequence where he's just laying at the bottom of the ocean and the lightning bolt and, I'm back. Let's do this.
You thought you got me. You never get old Brucey. But again, that's the thing about the movie that's so dumb, and I think that's why this puts it into like schlocky stuff, is because the movie just doesn't make sense a lot of the time, because why is the shark following them? And it's like, oh, because the shark has an out for them. It's a fucking shark. And at this point, this is the first time in the series, or the only time in the series, because it's the last one, where it's like the shark has this mystical element. They even, when they were developing this, when Scheinberg was developing this and and all that stuff, when Sargent was developing this, and when they were doing the writing, they were like, they wanted to make the shark more like have a mystical element, a more magical element, instead of having it just be this like animalistic killing machine. And it's like, I guess, but fuck me, it doesn't make the movie make a whole lot of sense. The movie really doesn't make sense logically, especially with like, once we get to the Bahamas, right? I don't understand Michael and his wife's like relationship all that much.
I mean, they couldn't even get I can't think of her name from Jaws 3D. She's the one that's with Dennis Quaid. They couldn't get her to come back either to be the wife, to be Michael's wife in this movie.
No shit.
They were like, I was part of 3D, and then you wanted to make this movie 3D too. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work out for me, fam.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The reason why the relationship doesn't make a whole lot of sense is because they act like they are newlyweds. Like they just met. They're in this whirlwind thing. They're not really used to each other. And I'm like, there's a fucking 5-year-old involved.
But it's like, she's the same woman from 3D, right? She's supposed to be the same character?
I don't think so. Well, that's the thing. Okay, so the production of this movie, right? They basically Howard the Duck, the epitaph of like quality filmmaking. Howard the Duck bombs, right?
Yeah.
They put a lot of money behind it. Just doesn't do well. So Universal, the execs, the producers were like, well, we need a way to recoup our losses. Well, Jaws 3D made a shit ton of money. Fuck it. We'll just make another Jaws sequel. So they basically greenlight a Jaws sequel. And there's some stuff where there's like, that's not like the whole story. There's a lot of like backroom handshakes and deals and people vying for like control of certain properties and a lot of money involved. But broad strokes, studio's not doing great. They want to make some more money. They're looking at this as a quick cash grab.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, we were going to get a guy, Joe Sargent, who had made The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Really good movie. Nice heist movie. He had also done a shit ton of TV work. But they were like, he is a pretty good journeyman director. We'll give him this. And only thing he needs to get it done in 9 months. The reason is so that they can also promote the new Jaws ride at Universal.
The one in Florida?
Yes. They wanted to promote the new Jaws ride. So they're like, okay, we'll get this guy. He gets full creative control as long as he can turn the movie around in 9 months. Mind you, how long did the fucking principal photography for the first Jaws take?
I mean, they were there, what, like nearly a year?
Nearly a year. Every single Jaws movie, production-wise, takes for fucking ever because you have to film on the water and it just destroys budget.
Okay, so I went back. Catherine is Michael's girlfriend in Jaws 3D.
Yes.
His wife is Carla.
Different people.
Catherine was a marine biologist. Carla is an artist.
And that's what I was getting at. When they went into production with this, they basically said, okay, but Jaws 3D doesn't exist. They completely scrapped all of Jaws 3D.
I mean, how do you just leave SeaWorld out like that?
Basically because critically the movie did poorly.
Oh, no, I know. But I mean, just to have it, as part of Ellen's You Can't Get Back in the Water. Like, you remember what happened at SeaWorld? You think I forget that? I let go of that? No, absolutely not.
Exactly. She holds a grudge. But that's the thing. Like, production-wise, they just completely drop all of Jaws 3D, probably because critically it didn't do too well. And it's also the reason why this movie's called Jaws the Revenge and not Jaws 4.
Yeah.
And it's the thing where also why all the characters... realistically, you can drop Jaws 3 from the franchise and miss nothing, story-wise.
Yeah.
But, I digress. They get to the Bahamas, and that was part of, like, the production thing is, well, we don't have to shoot it in fucking, Martha's Vineyard. We can shoot it down in the tropics. We'll get all the beach stuff, whatever, and it'll just be easier to film.
Yeah.
Because they only shot up in Martha's Vineyard, I think, for, like, a week.
Yeah, because, I mean, that sequence is very quick.
Yeah. So they film up there for a week. They go down to the Bahamas and they're just filming. And they have
Hawaii.
Hawaii. And they have like 9 months to get the full turnaround for this. So they're just burning through it. It's probably why there's so much stuff on land and there's so much dramatic stuff going on. They're trying to basically like pad the runtime a little bit.
And then we have the beautiful climax of the movie, the finale that was shot at Universal Studios.
Yes.
In the tank.
Because they had to blow up the shark.
Yeah.
But again, like I was getting at, the relationship between Michael and his wife, they feel like newlyweds, but there's like a kid. And it's like, okay, well, maybe there's still this in this like infatuation, lovey-dovey, whatever, right? But it's also like Michael has his cast of characters around him. Jack,
his best friend.
His best friend. They work as the marine biologist people. They're tracking slugs, I guess. And it's really weird because I don't fully understand what Michael's deal is.
Yeah, because I mean, he just makes a point that, they're almost PhDs. And it's like, okay, so is this like your last push before, you finally get your doctorate?
Well, no. I think he is a doctor, but they're getting a grant or something and they're trying to get enough research to apply for a grant. See, that's the thing. I don't know what their deal is.
No, because I think he tells his mom when they're at the table, I'm almost a doctor. Because she's like, I'm leaving tomorrow and let's, hang out and talk. I don't want to leave on bad terms. And he's, I'm almost a doctor. I'm trying to do this. You can't keep me from, going into the water. And it's like, that works in a sense because it goes back to his character from the original Jaws, where it's just, he has this fascination with the water.
Why is he fascinated with the waters when he's seen how many people die in front of him from shark attacks?
Beats me. I mean, I'd be well on the shore, but then again, land sharks, they'll get you too.
Of course. But again, the part where they're in the Bahamas, right? This is where the movie just starts breaking down because, like we were saying, it gets dumb. We're introducing like
new
characters, and it's like the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the film where we're in Amity. I don't know if that's how long it is, but it's substantial.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I mean, I'd like to spend more time there, considering how much time we spend in the Bahamas, and it's just kind of...
See, I don't really get why we have to have the setting change. Right? I mean, I'm assuming it's just because they were like, it'll just be easier to film in like a more tropical climate because we have to film during like winter time. And
yeah, because I mean, if it's Christmas time in Amity, no one's really getting in the water. It's going to turn into a thing of, okay, well, I guess we're just renting boats and chasing him through the cold, Christmas waters. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I think you had a good horror story there with Christmas, a Christmas horror on the island.
Yeah, I guess. It's just weird. That's the problem with this movie. It's very weird, but I don't think it's bad, I guess. Because even with all the schlocky bullshit, right?
Yeah.
The shark's chasing them down to the tropics. They're chasing them to the Bahamas, and Michael Caine's character shows up, and he's helping Ellen get her groove back. Michael's wife, Kathy...
Carla,
she has this ugly ass statue she's trying to premiere to the town for some festival.
Something. And even that doesn't go well.
Yeah, and it doesn't go well, and it's also like Michael's doing his marine biology stuff with Jack, and I'm like, okay, there's like 4 different plots going on in this movie.
He sees Ellen and Michael Caine getting close together, and he's, not liking it, and he's kind of alluding to what does Michael Caine do when he's not flying planes. And that's another subplot that was part of the script, was that Michael Caine's character was running drugs.
Or he was running laundered money was what it was for drug dealers or whatever. Yeah. And that's the other thing. Like Michael Caine's character, Hoagie.
That's what I was like, I need to look up his actual character name because we're just going to keep calling him Michael Caine.
Exactly. But Hoagie is supposed to be this like, I'm a surly man of the world type that, is
most interesting guy in the world.
Most interesting guy in the world. Exactly. And I think that's the thing, right? That's a character trope. That's like the guy where it's like, oh yeah, I fly the plane and I'm the most interesting man in the world. Oh yeah, this is just like Beirut back in 75. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know, but it's cool. That's his character.
That does sound awesome.
But that's his character. What happened to 75? But that's his character. He's like this world weary kind of like, I'm a man of the world and blah, blah, blah. And he just has the hots for Ellen.
It's like, I fly, I do, a couple of jobs here and there. And if I want to take a vacation and, fly to whatever country I want to and just hang out, and from there maybe I'll pick up another couple of jobs. I'm like, well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and there's also a thing where he has like a gambling problem, and I'm like, is this gonna come up? And it doesn't.
It doesn't.
There's like a casino scene where it's like, oh, I lost all my money on a game of craps. Is that bad? Is that good? And he's like, it is what it is. Let's go, Helen. Let's go boink on the beach. I'm like, oh, okay, so what's the point of this fucking scene or subplot? That's, again, the script is kind of all over the place, and it really gets weird. It doesn't get bad, it gets weird, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on that I'm like not interested in, and it's like, can we follow Ellen? Because Ellen's the main character of the movie, really. Like, she's the one who's going through the arc, and she's the one who's dealing with the grief and trauma, but we're cutting our time between a lot of different characters. The other thing that I think is weird is Michael seems so unaffected by Sean's death.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I've come to terms with it. And it's like, that's your little brother, like.
In context, he died like 3 days ago.
Yeah, I'm like, shouldn't you be a bit more upset? But he's like, oh no, I don't like that Hoagie's, sniffing around my mom. It's like, that's what you're worried about? Really?
And it's weird because the Jack character almost takes the role that Sean probably should have. Again, I think in the context of the script writing, they originally wanted Roy Scheider to die in Sean's place in the movie.
Yeah.
And then Roy Scheider said, hell no.
And then the boys, avenge their father's death.
Exactly. And then that didn't happen, obviously.
That didn't take.
So I'm wondering if that was a thing that happened where, okay, well, Sean's going to die, and then we're going to have this character, Jack, come up, and he is going to be Michael's foil and all that stuff, right? Because the film really does follow the idea, like if you were going to lay this out, like rewrite the script, this is more of my husband died and now I'm trying to find new love and protect my boys who are going out to like hunt the shark and avenge their father. That's the real story of the film. But because Brody apparently died 2 years ago and now it's her son's dying, it's now like, oh, well, it's obviously a film about like grief and obsession and her paranoia about the shark and her children being in trouble. And then there's this romance introduced that is really good. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's also
I love to see her happy.
Exactly. Everyone likes to see the characters get better and happy or whatever, come out of like these dark times. But it's like, okay, but
this just happened.
Well, that's not even the thing. It's just like that's not the story that this is telling. Like it's like, oh, my son died and now I'm paranoid and it's going to come back for my other son. That's like, oh, so it's like the revenge. Again, it's called Jaws, the revenge. So it's going to be a revenge story.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, so Ellen's going to get on the boat and try and, be mama bear and protect her children from another one dying to the shark. But that's not the movie. It's almost like this like romantic drama. And then the shark shows up.
Yeah. While they're looking for snails.
And I do like the underwater shark chase. It's like the only time the shark looks good.
Except for the part where Michael goes into the abandoned ship.
Oh god! And you get the close up.
Oh, not even that. You get where he goes in through one of the portholes to get into the ship, and the shark is just kind of like crossing the little hatch. But it looks like a shark floaty that you would buy like at the market that's being like pulled by a rope. And I was just like, guys, you couldn't even get that one, and it's a small little frame because it's supposed to be he's so far into the bowels of the ship and he's just seeing it, but it just looks like a floaty being pulled on string. And then we get the beautiful, as he's passing through the ship, and it's just like, oh god,
that's
what were you guys thinking?
And here's the thing, all right, now to really hammer in on what is bad about this movie, right? The script and the plot, there's a bunch of plots that aren't coalescing, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on that is developing this story in a way that is not conducive to the first part of the movie, right? And also the fucking shark effects. We mentioned it earlier, but I really want to hammer home, and I don't think people understand. The shark effects from the first Jaws are pretty good because they hide the shark. It's not on screen a long time. Looks pretty good. Jaws 2. Well, there's some that get goofy. The fucking Two-Face Jaws animatronic looks kind of weird, but it still holds up. You can look at it and you'd be like, okay, that's not a shark, but it's a good-looking animatronic. Jaws 3D. Okay, again, once it's the 3D shark, it's pretty bad. But when it's just swimming through the water,
I love that
we can get away with it.
12 minutes to get to where they are in the little, underground, control center, and they're just sitting there screaming. I'm like, well, all that time you were screaming, you could have gotten out of there, hopped on a ferry, gotten away from that shark, but we're just going to stand here and scream at him as he takes 25 minutes to swim right to the glass.
Yes, but again, the shark effects in Jaws 3D, at least the animatronic that's swimming through the water looks pretty good. It's when it's the 3D effect where you're like, okay, that's fucking awful. It's a fucking Photoshop. In this, all the times you see the shark, it's bad.
Yeah.
You can tell they're framing out the wire or they're framing out the fucking pulley system.
That's just dragging him along.
That's dragging it along. It doesn't look like it's alive, and it's probably why this movie was able to get turned around so quickly was because they're like, the shark's not working. Well, fuck it. We'll shoot around it.
Yeah.
And not shoot something else. Literally just shoot around the fucking, two guys with the ropes dragging it along. The shark effects are just bad, right?
Oh, no, 100%. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. It's like you had all three of these movies ahead of you that you could have, all right, this movie had this issue, that one. How can we make this easier? How can we make this more effective to what we're trying to do? And it's just like, you guys took like 20 steps back.
Yeah. That's the feeling I get for every single one of these Jaws franchises. We're going to talk about that when we do the franchise roundup. But again, the bad parts of this movie. The script is bad. The effects are bad. Is there anything else that's bad about the movie? Like, really?
I didn't like the sepia for her memories.
I forgot about the fucking flashbacks.
It's like, if you're going to do a flashback, I love me a flashback, but the sepia was just so, like, really? I'm like, are we doing sepia because, Ellen's supposed to be an older woman and she's remembering in sepia? Like, come on.
No, because that is some That is some. We got to do a flashback, make it look different. Put it in sepia. That's classy. That's some bullshit. Because the flashbacks they do, like when Michael is at the table and he's like playing with his daughter, they're mimicking each other, just like Chief Brody and Sean did in the first movie. Yeah. And she has the flashback and it's sepia, and it's like, oh. But it's also like, why are we doing this? What's with the flashback bullshit? I picked up immediately what was happening. I don't need the flashback. It feels like the filmmakers are kind of holding the audience's hand and making this really, really easy for them. Yeah. Because there's like a couple, when they have the fucking funeral and she has the flashback again there of her husband and her son, and it's all so pretty. And I'm like, I already understood she is grieving. I already got that. You do not need to spoon feed me this. It feels like the movie was filmed for the lowest common denominator. And it's like, I don't dig that. Like, you can have a little trust in your audience.
It kind of feels like a made-for-TV movie.
Exactly. Okay, that's the thing about this movie that I think encapsulates the quality of it very well. It looks and feels like a sci-fi original. And a good sci-fi original, you know, where it's like, okay, there's a real filmmaker behind this. They have a little bit of money, but it's like, this is not a theatrical film. This should not have gotten a wide release in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
This is a made-for-TV movie that looks pretty good. They got some pretty good actors in here. They have an Oscar winner in here. But it's just, there are parts of it that are pretty good looking, but you know, the stuff on Amity, and then when they get to the Bahamas, it's like, that's just natural lighting. Yeah, they're just kind of pointing and holding the camera. Yeah. They're kind of just, this is probably only like 2 or 3 takes the scene, and you can tell all the audio when they're in the Bahamas is ADR'd. Yeah. All of it is like post-produced audio that they're dubbing in, probably because the sound outside is just awful. Yeah. But it's like, you can feel the cheapness of it, you know? And it annoys the fuck out of me that I still like the movie. Yeah. It annoys because there's so much cheapness to this. There's so much just dumb. There's so much just like ugly in this film, but I'm like, the story of Ellen getting her groove back is kind of compelling. It is. I mean, like, her little scenes with Michael Caine and him kind of charming her and wooing her and showing her that, like, you know, life's dangerous, but, you know, what's life without danger?
There's another side to, you know, just worrying about what's going to happen next. When is the shark coming back?
And I'm like, I like that stuff. And it's also like, I kind of dig Michael and Jack's like relationship. I think Jack's like funny. I mean, it also was a thing where Van Peebles basically just improv'd all of his dialogue. And it's like, okay, I like this. There's a little bit of like charm to this. There's a little bit of like quality here. And the actual themes, even though the themes they're going for are not conducive to what I've seen, or is not conducive to what the overall story should be. Yeah. But the themes they are working with, which is like that guilt, that paranoia, that grief, that obsession, I'm like, that's pretty well put together. They're really like trying here. Like Joseph Sargent, the director, really was trying to do something with this movie. Yeah. He was really like taking that creative control and trying to put some good quality craft in here. The problem is it's Jaws for the revenge. He put all of his quality chutzpah in a studio cash grab with a time limit that honestly probably was not conducive to a good film. I think making this movie as a 9-month turnaround impossible to make this a good movie. Like, impossible. Like, could you even imagine like the stress of that, right? Okay, it's a 9-month turnaround from like script complete, because they started shooting without a completed script. Yeah. Explains a lot, by the way. Could you even imagine if they got Spielberg back, right? They backed up the dump trunk of money to Spielberg and said, you can go for it. Could he have even done anything with this in 9 months?
No. I mean, he would need the 9 months just to kind of like storyboard everything out.
Probably.
flesh out all the details.
And I mean, granted, even with fleshing out all the details and the storyboarding, didn't help the ending of this movie.
No.
The ending of this movie. So, the shark has attacked the beachgoers. Ellen is like, no more. I'm going to get that son of a bitch.
Well, we have Carla.
Yes.
I think that's her name. I'd have to go back to...
It's fine. Michael's wife, Carla. It's good. This movie is shit. You can continue your thought.
That's true. So we have Carla, I guess, finally revealing her statue that she's made for the town, whatever, for the beach.
Which is supposed to be this like abstract, expressionist, welded together scrap metal thing.
That looks like a shark.
Is that what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah, because remember when Ellen and Michael go into the garage and he was like, oh yeah, this is what Carla's been working on. And he goes behind it and Ellen kind of freaks out. It's like he's in the mouth of the shark.
That didn't translate at all for me. That's a heart. Like,
well,
the mouth thing is in the shape of like a little like heart thing.
That's how I interpreted it, that, you know, this is supposed to be like a shark. It looks kind of like the jaws that Quentin had in his shop.
Oh, no, I understand that's a reference to
so
it.
that's
but
why
it doesn't look like a shark. But I digress. It's an awful statue.
Yeah, so they're unveiling the statue, and then the little girl, I think her name's Thea?
Mm-hmm.
Thea's, you know, I want to go on the banana boat rig, whatever. And Carla's like, sure, you know, we live in the Bahamas. It's safe. And Ellen's like, no. And then Carla's like, no, it's good. It's good. And then the shark attacks attacks the banana with little Thea on it. And we get those great slow-mos of everyone screaming.
Yes.
And it's just like, Ellen's like, finally, I told you, there's a shark. We've been communicating. It finally happened. And then we have Michael being an idiot of, you know, oh, the shark's back. We're not going to tell anybody. We're going to, you know, go back to Jaws, the original, and we're not going to say a word to everybody that practically lives in the water on this island. We're going to say nothing.
And Ellen takes that shit personally because she
like,
hops on a boat.
She hops on Michael's boat or someone's boat, and she's like, fuck this shit. I'm killing that fish.
And she goes and chases this shark out into the open ocean, and then fucking Hoagie, Michael, Jack, they hop into the plane, and they're like, we're going to chase your mom down. And then he just, like, crashes the plane into the water. They hop out, get on the boat, and be like, Ellen, you got to turn back. And she's like, no, I won't.
She's like, I'm killing this shark. I don't know how, but I'm killing this shark.
And she does the whole look, and there's the fucking shark, and it eats the plane. Literally eats the plane. And now they're like, okay, we're gonna kill this shark. Well, how? I don't know. And then it almost eats Jack, and then the shark charges, and Ellen charges with the boat, and then the shark jumps out of the water.
Yeah.
And she impales the shark
with the exposed wood from the
mast or whatever.
Mast, yeah.
She impales the shark, and the shark explodes. Right now, the ending has been cut in a few different ways.
Yes.
We saw what I guess is the most like readily available home release of the film.
Did you watch it on Peacock?
I did.
Okay, so we watched the same thing.
Yeah, the readily available home release where you don't see the spike go into the shark and it's in all of its glory. The boat goes in, crashes against the shark explodes, and this gory, quick, cutty flash, right? Yep. That was not the original theatrical released ending.
No,
the original theatrical released ending, you get to see this ugly ass, butt ass, fucking shark, animatronic, punch out of the water, and the boat pierce it. And I mean, like, you're holding on it, and it's going in, it's like, and it's like, okay, cool. And then the shark explodes for some reason. It looks ridiculous.
Because why not?
Exactly. It literally must have been a thing where it was a studio mandate. It's got to explode at the end, just like in the first one.
I just remembered another one of the worst things about this movie. He roars.
He does roar. Was there a shark roar in 3D or 2? No? I know sharks don't actually roar.
They don't roar, no.
Well, it's a monster.
I saw it somewhere here on IMDb about the roar where someone was like, absolutely not. And they were like, no, you got to do it. And I was just like, no, we didn't need to do it. I mean, if you rig up, he's being, electrocuted by this current that he swallowed, from Jack's, inventions that he comes up with, we'd be able to see him like, seizing or, something, but it's just like, so now they roar. Do the roar.
Yes. But the ending of the movie is schlocky as fuck. They kill it, and then Hoagie and Ellen fly off to live their best life somewhere.
Jack survives.
Jack does survive.
Even though, he
was eaten by a shark. Like, we see him get eaten by the shark. And
I mean, he's still, conscious as they're going under the water. And he's, like with his free arm, he's hitting the shark in the head. And it's just like, well, he tried. Because, I mean, we have the other girl that was on the banana boat. She's in the shark's mouth for a while. And she's hitting the shark. And everyone's just kind of like watching. And I'm like, well, Jack was able to survive. I guess wasn't her lucky day. But it's just like, oh, okay.
Well, she wasn't a named character. Jack's a named character.
True.
But this is the thing. The end of the movie is schlocky bullshit.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
And this is, in the tank at Universal. I forget what the lagoon is called that they film, like their water sequences. So it's like when you see them in the water, you can totally see that it's a screen behind them.
Oh yeah.
For the the rest of the ocean.
You can tell it's it's a matte painting.
Yeah, it's like you could totally see behind Michael. I'm like, my God, they just painted some canvas, and it's like you could see that they're in the tank. But I guess to make it look, tropical, the water, they had to put like a ton of blue dye in it to get it to look
that crystal blue.
That crystal blue color. Well, I guess it was a thing where it was turning Lorraine and Michael Caine's hair blue because they have like blondish white hair. So it was a thing where their hair was starting to dye from being in the water. I was like, bruh.
Schlock. That is what this movie is. Schlock.
So much schlock.
But okay, overall, Jaws 4.
Yeah.
Right? Or Jaws the Revenge.
They leave happy. It's just, okay, we killed the shark. We're good.
Yeah. But okay, the movie.
Yeah.
To me, it's schlock, but it's not as bad as everyone says it is.
No, I was really anticipating it to be, something that was just, I can't sit through this. I can't watch it. It was like, no, I was actually having a good time. I mean, it's bad, but like a good bad.
Right? Like, it's not... Okay. Jaws 2 is interesting, but it's like boring, right?
Yeah.
Jaws 3 is like bad and dumb, but it's fun.
Yeah.
This is like really interesting, but not well made.
It's like this should have been the third. It should have been a trilogy.
Yes.
We have the original, we have Jaws 2 with Roy Scheider, and then we have Jaws 3 where it's, Chief has died. Now my son has been killed by the shark. What am I going to do with myself?
Well, in a perfect world, it would be Roy Scheider is the first one killed, and his sons go on the revenge mission, and Ellen has to now reassociate herself with the world now that her husband dies. Her sons are going off, and she finds comfort in another person and kind of realizes life is a little bit bigger than just hunting sharks.
And it's like we could even essentially get the Brody boys hunting down the shark, where we get it to be like the first Jaws movie where they hire a contractor that can, kill the shark. So it's like we've come full circle and we're back to the Brodies need to take out the shark.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly, you can rewrite Jaws 4 or Jaws the Revenge into a better movie.
Yeah. Much
easier than the other sequels, if I'm being honest. But I digressed. The movie flopped, didn't do well.
Clearly.
It was the lowest grossing of any of the Jaws movies. It didn't break even. Pretty much just ruined Sargent's career. He never went on to direct a feature film anymore.
He went to TV, right?
He was in TV for the rest of his life. But overall, Jaws 4. To me, not that bad.
No, compared to, what I've been hearing with, oh my God, it's the worst thing that was ever filmed and blah, and I was like, no, I actually had a really good time watching it.
I don't know if I would recommend it, but I probably... Okay, if you are into bad movies, your Troll 2s, your The Rooms, Plan 9 from Outer Space, this is definitely in your wheelhouse, and it's probably one you would watch and be like, this is much better than like a Troll 2, a Room, or a Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah, because after this watching, I'm definitely adding this to my, my Christmas watches. This is, going to go in there of, oh, it's Christmas time. Time to put on Jaws the Revenge.
But now we've completed the Jaws franchise.
We have.
Time for the franchise roundup.
Yeehaw.
So, the best of the franchise, the worst of the franchise.
Obviously, Jaws is the best of the franchise.
The first is the best, quite easily. It's a classic. It's one of the best movies ever made. The worst of the franchise?
It's probably Revenge, but I think it's
really.
I think it's neck and neck with 3D.
I would firmly put 3D as the worst.
Because it's like I'm having a hard time because 3D was a fun episode to record.
Yeah.
So it's like it's neck and neck, but I think if I had to rewatch the movies again, I'd watch Revenge over 3D. So you know what? I'm going to change my answer. 3D is the worst. Revenge, just a little bit above it. I don't know also if it's a thing where because there's nobody associated with Jaws in 3D that it kind of loses that specialness to it. Where it's like this one, it's like at least we have Ellen in this one. So it's like we still have that tie to...
There is some character continuity.
Just like, where Brandon was kind of struggling with Jaws 2. And it was just like, you didn't even notice that the barrels were right there. They were being used as a planter. I'm like, that's all I need. It's like, I just need something like that to kind of, just keep a grip on me.
Yeah, but speaking of Jaws 2, even though Brandon had never seen the first Jaws, there was still stuff in there for him to chew on and interesting like mental health stuff with Brody and PTSD, which is why like the worst, in my opinion, Jaws 3D. I think we're in agreement there. Yeah. But then after the first Jaws, it's probably still Jaws 2. Like,
Definitely.
I think it goes Jaws 2,
Revenge, and then 3D.
Yeah.
Which is why, I made that point of this could have just been a trilogy. It didn't need to have sequels. I will continue to fight that crusade with some of these films where they don't need sequels. They can just be standalones.
Well, okay. On that, the sequel thing, I just want to point that out before we keep going. I think Jaws probably didn't need sequels, but I'm happy they exist. At least Jaws 2 I'm happy because Jaws 2 actually has some like interesting character stuff that I'm really happy exists. I think Jaws, the bad parts of the Jaws franchise is that Spielberg had no hand in the rest of them, and it's very apparent Spielberg was the architect of why the first Jaws worked. But I'm happy they exist because I think the Jaws franchise as a whole works because we get to explore a little bit more of like the Brody character. We get to explore a little bit more of like the Ellen character. We get to explore a little bit more of Amity, and I think at least Jaws 2 justifies its existence.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, didn't need the sequels, but the sequels that we do have, they're enjoyable.
So when are we going to get the Jaws reboot?
Never.
But the Jaws franchise, good experiment, good Summer of the Shark.
Oh, yeah, I love it. The time of this recording, Shark Week should be starting on TV, so more sharks. More Summer of Sharks.
More Summer of the Shark.
But yeah, I enjoyed this experience. We hope that you guys enjoyed this new format that we're testing.
Yeah. A lot more video stuff, a lot more guest stuff, a lot more...
just focusing solely on a franchise.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to take a little bit of a break coming up for life stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we have family weddings, work, our wedding we're trying to plan. So we're going to be on a bit of a hiatus.
But we should be coming back in October?
September, October, somewhere in there. So we will be back. Hopefully you don't miss us too much.
But do we want to plug where they can listen to some of our older episodes while we wait?
Sure. If you want to listen to us on a different platform than you currently are, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube.
Yes, you can go to our YouTube channel, The Film Vault. That is The Film Vault on YouTube. You can like, comment, subscribe to all the video versions of these podcasts. You can also check out our social media at
The Film Club Podcast on Instagram, where we post upcoming episodes, guests, events that we're going to. We're going to be going to Midsummer Scream this year.
We are.
We weren't sure if we were going to be attending that, but we are. So we'll be posting some things about our day there. So we'll still be present online, even though there's no episodes coming out for a little while. But should we plug what we're doing next?
We should. Let people know the next franchise we're going to be getting into for the spooky season.
Yes. So it's happening. I mean, I was excited that Jaws was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even more excited that this is happening. Another one of my favorites. We're getting into the Psycho franchise.
That's right. Another franchise where I've only seen the first one.
And I've seen all of them. And I love all the Psycho movies, even the last one that gets really weird, but it's a fun weird.
And we'll be posting up a little bit of a poll. Maybe if we get enough votes, we will be doing the Psycho remake by Gus Van Sant from the 90s that has Vince Vaughn in it.
Yeah, so we'll be putting a poll up on our Instagram. Maybe a little bit. Should we do it in the season when we're doing the franchise?
A little closer. Probably
Yeah.
next month. Something like that.
Yeah, because I'm okay not doing the remake. And Dean really wants to do the remake. So let's see.
I need to know. I need to see it.
So let's see where you guys go. Maybe you guys want to see it. Who knows? I mean,
It'll only be that or the made-for-TV Bates Motel movie starring Bud Cort. Well, that'll be the post. That'll be the
then
poll.
this is where it gets complicated, because then we'd have to do the Bates Motel show.
You don't have to do the Bates Motel show because the show doesn't relate it to the TV movie from the 80s.
It doesn't, but I mean, if we're just doing anything that's associated with Psycho, you may as well throw that in there.
Yeah, but the Bates Motel TV show gets kind of trash after a while.
I liked it.
I'm trying to remember where I fell off. How many?
Oh, no, I watched all the way through.
Oh, you did?
Oh, no, I finished the show. I think I've watched it 2 times.
Oh, I know I fell off somewhere in season 2. I fell off.
Oh, no. I made it all the way to the end, and I was like, I miss the Bates Motel. All right, let's start again. Episode 1.
That'll be the name of the next mini-series. Welcome to the Bates Motel. You can check in, but you can never leave.
We're going to get copyright for that.
Maybe. But with that,
we'll see you next week at the film. Oh, no, we won't. We'll see you. We'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you next time at the Film Club.
Yes, we will.
Have a good week, everybody.